All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Seven Hot Takes, your new favorite Overwatch League podcast. My name is VictorSV, and I am joined by.
Andrw.
Hey, it's EQO.
And
Hey, it's always.
I'm Rio. Hello.
And if you're wondering why we're called Seven Hot Takes, that is because everything we say is our own opinion. Because Blizzard does not tell us anything. All right, we're not funded by the government,
We're not
and we're
funded by
called
China.
exactly. And
Hashtag
the
free Hong
reason why,
Kong.
and the reason we are called Seven Hot Takes is
Revolutionary
because
times.
originally there
Seven
were
by
seven of
seven.
us. However, they all died in a horrific car crash this morning. It's very sad. However, let's start our first topic of the day, and that is the Philadelphia Fusion. Now, the Philadelphia Fusion have seemed to be going to a mixed roster instead of a Korean roster. What do you guys want to talk about this, guys?
I
Bad
mean, first,
idea. Bernard and Alarm.
They better start EQO. That's as long as they start EQO, I don't care what they do.
I feel like EQO is gonna leave the team.
Oh, and
Yeah, there's been a
also,
lot of people saying that he's gonna leave. Like he's not even under contract. He's in the team option. Sato's under
Another team
contract.
option.
EQO is a good guy. He's loyal. He'll stay.
I mean, well, the thing is, I wouldn't be surprised by Philadelphia keeping him just because he's like you could call him the face of Fusion.
That
Like
is a fair
everybody knows
point.
EQO.
That is a fair point. This year, it's all gonna be about names and faces. It's all gonna be because you want to get people into that stadium. You need to get people in there by the name, like
Yeah.
Carpe. You want Carpe in there. And speaking of Carpe, Carpe's a free agent. Where do you think he's gonna go? Like he hasn't been re-signed.
I mean, people
I
have said
think
London.
every
Like,
single team has a better hit scan, given how washed he is.
except for
I
Bertrand.
He
disagree
could
there.
he
But
could
you
be
see,
on the
Disagree.
bench.
Mm.
but you see, London actually does not have a hit scan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Well,
Gesture's better. Hate to break it to you.
I mean, I don't think Carpe's washed. Sato's kind of poo-poo, you know.
I
Poco,
mean,
you know, he's alright. He's not terrible.
like people have said, like all of Philly looked like they didn't want to play this year. It
Yeah.
might have just been like Carpe might have just not been motivated.
Exactly. Like Carpe looked absolutely dreadful this year. Like he just looked so dead inside. Like what if you send him to London and then like he gets all super motivated and like starts kicking ass again? Who knows?
Like
Now
if we get
something
like old Carpe, especially with Fury, that'll be fucking amazing.
exactly like something very important that we also need to think about. In Elk's stream, we saw that Alarm, he said that he wanted to compete for a full Korean roster. And for what we're seeing from Fusion, that's a mixed roster right there. Unless they're gonna like drop big bucks and like start getting rid of contracts, which will be very weird. So, where do you guys think Alarm's gonna go if he's not gonna go to Fusion? Because he says he doesn't care about the money.
I mean, I
Mm.
think that there's still definitely a chance that he ends up on Fusion, but like he could maybe go to Mayhem. Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe
maybe Spitfire. Maybe he could be the backup to Jonak. There's
he
some
would be the
places he could
backup.
go,
Yeah.
but
what about the
I
Titans?
personally see him either going to Fusion or Mayhem.
But
I
what
mean,
about
if
the
he went to
Titans though?
He
Spitfire, would
might
he?
he
Okay,
might
go.
just put it aside because he's been on Funi all this time and he could just like join Fusion for the sake of it. He, I think he could
Yeah,
live with
probably.
not being on a full Korean roster.
I don't necessarily think that
I
everybody
don't.
like it's been said that like everybody wants to be able to live in Seoul. Like every Korean wants to be able to live in Seoul, go to Seoul Dynasty.
Yeah,
It is
some other people.
arguable he would try to go there.
Yeah,
I
other
mean, he would
teams.
try, but I don't think he would get picked up.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he get picked up? Like
because
Personal
he's
there's a
opinion,
lot of
I
seems
think.
contenders
like a free
talent.
agent.
I mean
There's a
they
Yeah,
have Valley
there's
Angels.
there's better contenders
Or
Korea players who probably would also want to go to Seoul, and
yeah.
I
Alarm,
also
you
don't
think
think
there's
he's
better than
quite
Alarm?
on the level of Seoul's supports.
Think that there's better than Alarm?
Alarm.
Yeah, Laura, I think like
Alarm is like ridiculously good. Alarm's very, very good.
I would say Alarm is the decay of this year, like of bidding war wise. Like there's gonna be bidding wars over this guy if there's not already.
I don't think he's gonna be the king. There's like Sparkle. Sparkle's a lot of
Yeah.
hypes
Yeah,
running
that's
him.
true.
A lot of the
Yeah,
runaway players.
Yeah.
mayhem it is.
Wait,
Mayhem
but
it is. Bring the
what about the
mayhem.
runaway though? The
Yay!
Andrw Spark.
Uh, Spark. I'm not really
Yes,
sure what.
yes, and speaking of the Spark, that is actually our next team, Spark and Mayhem.
Well, I
Once
mean, we
again,
kind of jumped ahead a little bit, jumped ahead of schedule, leaked. But
yes, I know it's just a good transition. Shh, don't tell them.
That was
Spark, go on. EQO.
that's me.
Yeah, that's you.
Oh wait, were
Yes,
you talking
that's
about
me.
the actual
We're
player or
talking
me?
about
I'm in.
no,
This is
No, I
confusing.
was talking about
I,
you. You
I
sound
think
like you're gonna say something.
my naming
EQ,
is
your new
very
name's
messed up
Jim.
at this point.
Your new
Uh,
name's Jim now. I'm sorry. We're referring to you as Jim for the rest of the
All
podcast.
right,
Jim,
I
what do you
am
think
Jim.
about the Hamdro Spark, Jim?
Can it be James? All
James,
right,
what do
James
you
it
think
is. All
about the
right,
Hangzhou Spark?
fine as is.
I mean, I would argue for another off tank.
I would argue get Crystal back. Hashtag justice for Crystal.
I
Why would you
think they
say
hate
justice for
Crystal by now.
Crystal?
all right. So so apparently Spark is suing Crystal for breach of contract. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work, and I don't think Spark needs a new flex tank. Spark already have Zijin, who's probably the best Chinese flex tank, and have Rhea, I'd argue is the second overall, but like the second best hit like off tank overall. Like he's not the best diva, he's not the best Hog, he's not the best Sigma, he's not the
But he's
best Zarya.
consistent.
Yeah, but he's consistently just really good across all of them. Like Fury is like we haven't seen his Sigma and his Hog was okay. Janu, his Hog was kind of tragic, and his Zarya was not very good. His Sigma was like okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like off tanks that are really really good at one hero, but kind of suck at the other.
But
You know, it's unfortunate,
he's
but
like a
you know,
mini Choi Hoden. Yeah.
yeah. Mini Choi Hoban, they both come from X6, so you know, X6 rise up.
Gang gang.
Yeah, that is a fair
Gang.
point. But what do
I
you,
mean,
oh,
I think they could find like they could near the start of the next season find out which off tank's actually going to be meta and pick up a specialist in that instead of having Rhea who's pretty good at everyone. Just get someone who's insane at the one who's the most meta.
see, there's a
I
problem with
mean, they
that.
have Zijin. Zijin's ridiculously good.
Did they ever announce him? I heard that like they just straight up
They
didn't
announced him
announce him.
on their, I think, Weibo.
Wait,
On
what
their
happened?
what?
They announced Zijin on like Weibo, I believe, or Billy Billy.
Okay. Okay.
Although I think Billy Billy's just a streaming service.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy
Well,
Billy's just like Korean
something I
Twitch or
want to
Chinese
bring
Twitch,
up.
one of those.
Something I want to bring up that EQ said. EQ said that maybe we should like get a specialist. However, the problem is the trading window closes next month. They don't have time. They gotta make changes now. They gotta close those contracts
I
now
mean,
with these live.
they don't necessarily need to trade. They could just pick up contender
Yeah,
talent.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Which
they
is
could
why
pick
they're
up like
transitioning.
Hanbin. They could get like QOQ. They could probably throw enough money at QOQ. But then again, I don't think they need a new off tank. I don't think that's their main area of concern. I
Yeah.
think that their
I
main
mean,
area of
what about
concern
flex DPS?
is you
Always,
know, like filling Crystal's void if Crystal
yeah,
inevitably leaves.
yeah. Always. You actually know a lot more about contenders than we do. And Hangzhou Spark, they have an academy team. What do you think about them? Like, could they be
They're
promoting
probably the
players up?
most individually talented academy team in China. One of the most individually talented roster of all contenders. You know,
Yeah.
they have a crazy backline. Coldest is just Chinese Jonak. Mika is very very good. Shy is you know kind of a freak of beast at the hit scan. The Yakumo and Winner are both very good. Over's pretty good. And they also have Bazi on the two way. They have no might on the two way. They can definitely send some players down to their academy to you know free up roster space.
So you're saying, but who would you promote from their academy team? Who do you think is like the player that they want to be promoting
I
up?
think that if they don't want to keep revenge, they could definitely promote Coldest and Mika.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And all right, so transitioning over to a team that's in a similar position who is favoring Korean players. What about the Florida Mayhem? Like the Florida Mayhem, they nuked their roster. They are at the moment their support line does not look good to at least to me because the Byrams are starting flex support, and Chris has always just been good throughout the whole season. Like they need something crazy.
Alarm! Alarm!
Alarm.
Alarm!
Alarm is a good point.
We do,
However,
we do.
I have a suggestion. Jay Hong said on stream that he wanted to play with the old Lunatic High. What if Mayhem make an offer for Zumba, Toby, and Jayhong, who are all free agents? Because Soul might not want to keep Toby and Zumba, but what
I
if
mean, the thing is,
Soul Mayhem snag that?
well, I think it is
So,
possible. I think Soul Dynasty, well, because they're already there, there's such a more entertaining offer because Jaehyung is the face of Soul Dynasty, anyways.
Yeah,
Everybody knows Jaehyung.
they're gonna do what it takes to keep their big face. Just like, I mean, as you said earlier, teams need people to go to the stadium.
Yeah.
You got to
like right
keep your
now,
big name. Like Philly needs EQO, Seoul needs Jaehong.
That
I
is a
think
fair
that
point.
right now, I'm pretty sure Andrew, the COO of Genji Dynasty, like big man in Dynasty,
Yeah.
he said that they're still pursuing Jaehong and Toby, and they're not off the roster just yet.
Yeah.
They're
What
just
about
allowing
Zumba
them to
though?
look for other offers.
What about Zumba though? Did they forget? Is Zumba off the roster then?
I mean, maybe,
Maybe
probably,
possibly.
but possibly, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, Zunbo was always known for Zarya, and it might be a while before Zarya comes back in meta.
That is a fair point. The meta is just looking like Sigma and Orisa for the long time from now. Unless there's gonna be a new hero that's gonna change that, but I don't see Sigma out of the meta for a while.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, Mayhem actually have a slight flex DPS problem. Like BQB and Seiya are alright, but
I mean,
they need
like,
somebody else. They
if
need
we
someone
did
to
entertain
fire
the
that
idea
torch.
of Jaehong, Zunba, and Toby, I mean, arguably they already have Gargoyle, but that's when we could throw in Who Are You if we did want to entertain the old Lunatic High idea,
Yeah, that
like
is a very fair point.
having uh Fate, Saya player, a Gargoyle or Zunba, Jaehong, Toby. That would honestly be not that bad. Like,
That will be amazing. Actually, you're 100% right.
yeah,
Like I will be afraid seeing that. Like if I'm the Soul Dynasty and I see that roster up against me, like I'm gonna be throwing money at them to stay with us. Because Huaryu's a freak of nature, and the reason why people are saying that he might not get picked up was because he has a little thing for toxicity.
yeah,
But
he
I
was
don't think he.
16 at the time though.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
such a long time ago. I don't. Well, yes, he did have problems at some point. It's been such a long time.
Yeah, like the mayhem might just be
Forgiveness
the
is the
easiest
first
thing to
step
get
to
him.
everything.
Yes.
Exactly, and the other team that he could go to would be the Dallas Fuel, but the Dallas Fuel they seem to be full at the moment with all those contracts they have
Their
over there.
fuel, their fuel are garbage.
Yeah, they're fuel. They're just throwing fuel at a garbage tank. So who better to snag up? Who's better to snag up? Who are you than the Mayhem? They don't really have much all Korean competition this off season. There's no
Yeah.
new expansion teams.
Although I think that Wikid could definitely go to Mayhem.
Oh,
Wikid
Wiki is
is
also an
really good.
option.
The
He's epic.
Mayhem might just become the sole retirement home.
I don't think it's a sole retirement home just yet.
You could
I
have
mean,
this.
if they get those 4 players in,
Then
it's
yeah, you
basically
can
the
make a
retirement
compelling
home.
case. Miro, where are you?
Oh
Where's
no!
Miro? He'll just stream for Florida Mayhem.
Yes,
Yeah.
he could be the
Yeah,
next.
can we also get Munchkin?
I would love Munchkin. Oh, yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
we already have
yeah.
Seiya. Seiya,
Yeah, the
Seiya
site
will
is good.
just like
We
bench
just
us.
get Bunny.
Can't play as good of a tracer as Munchkin. Munchkin is
Well, no, if we can get
Bunny
Bunny
though.
back, I'll be happy.
Bunny,
Just
bring
Bunny,
Bunny
who are you?
home. I love Bunny.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, again, like transitioning into another team since like we already talked since we think we've run out of topics with the mayhem. How about we talk about some of the western side of the hemisphere with the Washington Justice and the Houston Outlaws. The Washington Justice just released Sleepy and Gito. They no longer have Korean players. And the Houston Outlaws, they look like a mess, but they can make a change this season. There's a lot of free players like Nevix. What do you guys think?
Well,
And
they still
Henderson.
currently have Arc,
personally,
so it doesn't completely point
nah.
to a.
Ark's not Korean. Ark is
He's
Okay.
no longer
Korean.
Korean.
he is Western at heart.
He's Western now. We've just determined
We've
his new
I mean, the thing is,
ethnicity.
Arc is so
ties dark.
valuable to most teams that I don't see Washington giving him up very easily.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's no reason to give
especially.
him up though.
Yeah, exactly. They can still go for a mixed roster.
I see
Yeah.
them
Also
giving him up
about
because they want money and they're
on
basically baby lost in uprising.
On Sideshow's stream, apparently Hydration had an offer from a team for about like 150K. I think it definitely could be one of
I
these
think
two
it
teams.
could be the Justice. The Justice are packing the money right now.
I
They could.
wouldn't argue that because they already have Stratus and everybody loves
Yeah,
Stratus.
I don't think it would be Stratus
Everybody
unless they
loves
release
hydration
Stratus. Then
too.
it probably is Hydration.
Yeah,
Yeah, everyone loves hydration too. Imagine just being able to have like hydration and
I mean, I would
Stratus on your
argue
team and have them
hydration
swiping
would
around.
have been going to Fuel because it is also rumored that Fuel have very high salaries. So
Yeah, they
150K from Fuel is not unbelievable.
yeah, but
Yeah, Fuel is apparently paying some of the highest salaries in the league. Excuse me.
amazing results for that high salary though.
Mm,
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
15th place, very amazing.
hey,
sure.
better than last
Yeah.
year.
Like, what is with Fuel? Like, they just can never seem to pick it around, and this is just a problem. I think they might just.
I think the issue is that Arrow's a thrower, and Jane was spending more time crying than actually coaching.
That's
I
I
also
don't think it has anything to do with the
I don't
coaching staff more
I
so
yeah.
than it
think
has to do with the
to do
players
with the
being
players.
washed.
Yeah, just they don't change the players. Like with the Dallas, they're not changing players. Like look at their starting roster last season. Look at this season. It does changed
I
a bit,
do put
but
full blame on Arrow for Zachary still being on the roster.
yeah,
Like
Zachary,
that's
that's some bias right there. That's
Not
just
to feed into the
I
meme
don't think it is.
Zachary is
I don't think
kind of make.
Zachary starting has anything to do with Arrow or the coaching staff. It's just that Fuel made a big mistake of trying to get Zachary, a someone who's traditionally is a hit scam, as their flex DPS. So by the time they had committed to him as their flex DPS, it was realistically too late to sign anybody.
Yeah. It was
that
also
is
the
true.
time where they
And
didn't
also, I want
foresee
to point out,
Rollock, so RCK was there to help with
Yeah.
the flex DPS duties.
I think that in hindsight, Justice and Mayhem are not making the same mistake Fuel made last season, where they played like poo poo for 3 stages, and then in the final stage they start playing really good. But this time they're actually making changes with their
Yeah,
roster
they're not just staying with it, which
and
is
not
really
being
cool.
complicit.
Yeah, that is a very big change. Is like
I
I want.
mean the difference I see in that though is that like Fuel did well because of a new meta. These teams are doing well because they were better at roll lock, and I don't think they're changing roll lock. So like the Justice should have theoretically been solid going into the next season with
Also,
the
I'm
roster they
pretty sure
had.
Fuel was only good because they were able to abuse the.
Oh
Brig.
yeah, and Mickey was a god tier brig. That
Yeah.
Actually,
too.
I want to argue against the Justice real quick because I want to point something out. Most of
Okay.
the Justice's wins were because Corey could play that Widow or that Hanzo, and he could get those picks and he could put that pressure. Let's put Corey and put that team in like the meta we were in now. Could Sansan have played Sigma? Could Corey still
I
have
think Sam
carried
was a hog
on
one trick.
Reaper?
San
Or
Sam,
he
I
was
I think that
not
the
a terrible diva, but he was not a goats diva. Like
I
how
I think that
Mickey was.
Justice is gonna try to pick up Nevix because he's a solid off tank and they need a solid off tank.
No,
They have
no, they
Nev
don't. They don't. They already have Ellie vote. Ellie vote.
yeah.
Uh
he's starting
They
over
need
Nevin.
supports if anything.
oh yeah, Lelishan.
Yeah, I don't see why you would want to break up Lur Shalanivo with
I mean their
Nevix.
only points they really need right now are supports. Well, no, flex
Yeah,
support.
Just
yeah.
sign Mondo and Myungbong and call it a day.
There we go.
Talkers.
Speaking of supports, though, I want to bring something up. The Houston Outlaws, they don't have a main support right now, and Sleepy is on the market, so I don't
Sleepy
see
or
Rocket
Crimzo.
staying either.
They could get
Sleepy,
Sleepy Crim. I
Crimzo.
mean, they still have a flex support with Raucus.
Yeah,
I
but
think they
do
could
you want
get
to
Elk.
keep Raucus? Like, he's just
Elk is
not
also
good
an option.
press.
I think. I think Raucus could be. I think Raucus still has potential to be pretty good.
Yeah, I know, but do you want the
Yeah.
press from
How
Raucus?
about a massive curveball? Alarm goes to the Houston Outlaws.
Ah,
Pog.
yes.
First.
Imagine.
All Korean roster. Nope.
Okay.
But I
They
think
want to do
that.
Western roster.
I think with Outlaws, their main goal is to be marketable more than to be a hugely successful roster.
Yeah, but can you market some of these players anymore? Like,
Yeah, you could
right?
definitely market Jake. You could definitely market Raucus. You could market Dante. You can market Luma. You can market a lot of their players, even if their skill isn't nearly as good as it used to be,
Yeah.
or in relative to the rest of the league.
But do you want to just
Oh,
be
I got it. I
marketable?
got it. Outlaws. Wait. I mean, they have Linkster, so I guess Outlaws wouldn't be breaking the NA thing if they picked up Poco and
Well, the thing is, I think
Poco's
Linkster should
Cooper.
be dropped. Linkster
But
should be dropped.
Oh,
speaking of flex tanks, there's actually one flex tank who's highly popular who could go to Outlaws. Boost those ratings up, and that's Gods. Gods is beloved.
Yes.
Put Gods on a billboard and say, "Come
Like,
to Houston Outlaws tonight." Have Gods over, put like Gods on their faces there. Like that's gonna get people there.
Have guys massage your head.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. You could have a Gods massage show right there.
I mean, I would 100% be for God joining the team. I
yeah,
think he would be really good.
popular than Poco.
I mean,
Question
Poco's
though.
already under contract for Fusion.
Yeah. Also, Sato's under contract for Fusion. What are they doing? If
I think
Sato starts next
Sato's
season,
good.
Fusion, I don't see escaping the bottom five.
Hot take: Sato's a good tank.
Okay, leave
That's not
the
even a hot
call,
take.
leave the
Leave.
server, and leave life.
Now let me explain myself though. Let me explain myself.
Okay, fine. Give
There's
it
a
an
reasoning.
attempt.
There's a reasoning to this. I just think that Sato was just Goats was not the fusion's meta. They couldn't play it, and let me explain. I believe Carpe was actually the issue because Carpe just he seemed to be the complete downer of the team. He wasn't like letting the team move on. He was just making them keep Sato in there. And sometimes maybe Sato didn't even want to play. Like let's consider this. Like Carpe just wanted a Korean in that starting roster. He didn't care if it was freaking Arhan. He just wanted a Korean partner.
Yeah, I
He
completely
only
forgot.
wanted a Korean in
That's why
Goats.
they dropped Fraggy.
He only wanted a Korean was because communicating with a Reinhardt who speaks the same language you do is a lot easier than communicating with someone who doesn't speak the same language as
Yeah,
you
but
do.
what
Yeah.
I'm saying is
And
what
I
by
if
that
mean, I've
time,
seen Fusion's video. Carpe knows all basic English. He could have communicated with Fraggy just fine.
I mean, it's
yeah,
not
it's just that
necessarily
Carpe
that,
didn't
but
want to.
it's like playing with a bunch of, or playing with a culture you're not familiar with isn't always comfortable for people.
Exactly, but I think that Sato was actually might have been a better tank that they were thinking of him
Mm,
because
No, definitely
yeah.
not. No,
like
he's
think
only good at Winston. And Winston has
Even then.
not
listen,
been meta.
listen, all right. I think that Sato, the problem with him was there were times when you kind of want to be put on the bench and taken off, practice another hero, do something different, but he was stuck on that starting roster playing Reinhardt, a hero who he just didn't seem to be able to figure out. He was just thrown into a situation where he kept on going and going and going, and you have people screaming at your feet. I think he just got a mind block in his head where he can't do it. So I think that maybe this season he might be able to make a comeback. Maybe I don't think he might be starting all the time. Maybe not starting. Maybe you put like Kaiser where they can pick up or Mag on that spot, but he could be a decent tank this season. I don't think he's washed up.
I don't
I
think
mean,
it's not as
if
washed
he's
up.
been told he's a feeder for like 6 months, his head's already broken. He's already out of it. There's no mental comeback to be made.
I don't know. Look at the fuel.
There was no mental comeback to be made there either. They pretended to be good and then they realized, oh wait, we're the Dallas Fuel and went back to feeding.
I don't know. I think Sato could do it. I think he might impress this season.
I've lost all faith in him. He made me lose faith in Fusion. That's impressive.
Maybe event actually something I actually really want to address real quick. Where do you guys think Sleepy's gonna go?
I mean,
Oh,
he could go to
I mean, he
Outlaws
could go to Outlaws.
or
Sleepy on Outlaws is the happiest thing in the world.
I
So
would
we're just
genuinely like Outlaws.
so we're just saying that he's just gonna go to Outlaws. Outlaws is just gonna be the Western retirement home.
I
I
mean,
wouldn't say
yeah,
retirement home.
Outlaws is the Western team. Like
He
that,
could also go to Uprising.
Uprising, that is true.
he
Uprising.
costs too much for Uprising. He's more than 50K.
Yeah, it's more than minimum salary. They don't call Boston minimum salary for nothing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now I'm going to. All right, guys. So we are actually have a lot of extra time right now. So I need to go do something real quick. But how about we always? You've been watching the Gauntlet. Who do you think is gonna win the Gauntlet? I'll be right back.
Genji, easy clap. Genji Gauntlet champions.
Genji
Prove
already
me wrong.
lost.
Yeah, Genji's already eliminated.
He making the
You have to
comeback.
pick through between ATL, EM, and Runaway.
No one's gonna argue with that.
I haven't watched Gauntlet. I fell asleep last night.
I think EM's gonna win.
I mean, I've seen EM. Didn't they stop someone? Okay. I like loosely looked at the scores. I don't know how good every team is. I've heard Element Mystic is
Basically,
good, but that's it.
yeah, EM's good, Talon is good,
I mean,
Atlanta's
Oh,
good,
Talon's out. I think that
and then
it's
there's
definitely going to be a
a lot of
runaway
bad
EM
teams that are already
finals.
out.
I
Okay.
think ATL is going to
Runaway gonna
lose
win.
tonight, and then EM's just going to beat Runaway again.
Definitely not
Okay.
Runaway.
All right, let's
Shooting for
close the
Atlanta,
segment.
easy.
Let's close the segment. Always, who's gonna win tonight? Who's gonna win? Runaway or Atlanta? And who wins? And who wins after that against EM?
I'm going to say it's going to be Runaway
I think
4-2.
always is gone. I say Atlanta wins, and then Mystic beats Atlanta in the finals. That is my guess.
before you interrupted me, I think ATL is going to go bye-bye tonight. 4-2 to Runaway, and then EM is going to win 4-2. I'm going to be a 4-2
Dang,
A.
always just fell asleep.
Uh,
Ryu, what do you think?
I argue.
He still
Although
doesn't
I
watch.
haven't watched it, I argue. Runaway 4-0, Element Mystic 4-0.
There are.
Runaway
I'm not
for
even gonna
what? Didn't hear that last part.
depth on why that's
Element
wrong in every single way.
Runaway and Element Mystic are both gonna 4-0.
Oh, all right. So here is my theory. All right,
Okay.
my theory is very simple. I think that they're gonna bring Clockwork Vendetta in as the wild card, and they're gonna trash all over Element Mystic
Ah,
and
yes.
Runaway and Atlanta. Thank you.
The
That is all the
best
time we
team.
have for tonight. We check us
I'm
out on
sorry,
Twitter
but
and Discord.
no, Clockwork can't win. They're a goats one trick.
They don't play ghosts. What?
I know that's the.
What?
Andrew, let's
I
wait
know.
until we close the podcast.
Feels bad.
Okay, was that the end of it?
I can't tell if Andrew ended it or not.
Oh, Andrew, did you end
And
it?
it.
Is this also being recorded? Is this gonna be showing?
And also cut this part out. And also still cut this part
What
out.
if Andrew went to the bathroom and he's just been like, we're just
I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, he went
He
to the
might have
bathroom
fallen
and now
asleep.
he'll be ranting. So if we're still talking, like if we're still meant to be talking, you know, I got nothing. Team Hong Kong, World Cup. We're gonna make
Now
quite.
they're still very, very bad at the game.
I don't know, man. I think they're gonna. I think the people are gonna riot onto the stage and just take away the enemy team. They're just gonna drag them out
True. Now that now that now that
like
Goats is dead, there's much less tanks to get rid of Hong Kong.
yeah, like they're just gonna drag them on the stage, kicking and screaming. Like you're just gonna see Lee screaming and kicking away from his life. It's gonna be pretty graphic. Andrew, please tell me you ended it. I don't want. I don't want.
He can figure out how to cut it later.
Yes.
Yeah, but what if we're still recording and like because Andrew doesn't know how to edit and neither do I.
He doesn't.
And the
I
longer
mean,
the video goes, the harder,
Splicing.
longer it's gonna take to render.
we'll have
I don't know.
to edit it. Like, I don't know.
Anyone can edit.
All right, so considering I don't think Toxic's ever gonna talk. Congratulations, EQO. You're the new 7 hot take.
What?
Yeah, congratulations.
There we go.
Congratulations, you're an official member. Toxic. Since you weren't here, you were not able to claim your role.
Okay, if that's all, I'm gonna go now.
Me,
I'll see you guys.
me as well.
It's dinner time. I'm still hungry.